Neca is an NLP-driven e-commerce analytics and test management tool, and here I want to emphasize the test management because however you analyze the data, someone has to go and act to improve what's going on in the business. To talk a little bit about my background, I'm an economics graduate. I worked 2 years in PwC, and my last job was an e-commerce job. I was business development manager, but I was acting more like a data analyst, trying to improve the performance of the business using data. But I had no programming experience before, and I was using the traditional methods like exporting CSV files, putting them into spreadsheets, and then trying to analyze everything. Which, if you're making monthly analysis and you are making all these operations on the 10th day of the month, it's not very useful because you're late. So this is for you to better understand what kind of business we were managing. It was selling furniture. The main market was Amazon Germany. And we were a very small team, so myself, as a manager, I was going to these lumber stores and making quality control. So the resources was a little bit scarce for a small e-commerce startup. So again, about the challenges of the business, it was very operation heavy. You have to deal with suppliers, making sure all the products are good quality. And there was a huge logistics operations. And if we were a growing startup, we couldn't just go and fetch some good experienced business analysts or some technical teams. We couldn't do that. And we were growing fast among different marketplaces and coming up with new products. Right now we have almost like 200 different SKUs, which means stock keeping unit. So this is not an ideal framework for you to dive deep into your data and spend so much time because you have so many operational things going on and you have very unexperienced teams to manage. And so again, this creates a scenario where you're very highly losing time with operations and just your data is going away. You can't keep track of what's really going on in your digital e-commerce business. And more problems about analyzing data is that they're coming from way too many resources, like sales, inventory. You have to know like if I'm selling good, if do I have enough inventory, which is enough for the next month, if I am spending my advertising budgets wisely, and all the other things about product listings and customer service. So this team was usually overwhelmed by West data inflows, and that was me. I was usually overwhelmed because I was the one who is doing all these data analysis jobs. And also, when you struggle with your data management, you become reactive, you don't be active. So what does it mean to be reactive is that, I just see that we are out of inventory for this product. And it's a huge thing because you have the flow behind you, and if you're out of inventory, it takes time for Amazon to take you again to the display and all the wind just stops. And again, you see that you spend a bunch of money to some advertising campaigns which are not bringing you sales. And maybe you want to spend your money on advertising, but you go check the campaign and you see that nothing is spent. So these are all the common reactive scenarios that if you don't manage your data very wisely. I think there are too many companies like us because here we are in SAP and we are, now a community of tech people, but in the real world, most of the startups, they don't have such teams and they still follow some very traditional approaches to manage their data. And what we were doing is to use in-house spreadsheets, but it was not enough because it was taking so much time to export CSV files and try to handle inconsistencies between them, and you have to do it every time you want to analyze your data, which is a big problem. And the data that you're exporting has its shape. If you want to analyze data in different dimensions, like collections or some categories of products, it doesn't let you do that. And the biggest problem is that I couldn't delegate this work, and I really wanted to because I had to spend time on developing the business. But no one in the team just gets the spreadsheet that I built and understands and has the ability to update it with the new data. So you usually end up with spreadsheets like this, or this. This is an advertising report which has way too many different variables. And this was my main spreadsheet, which I tried to control everything. But still, the results are here. But again, there was a huge gap between to see the result and actually go like delegate. Okay, for example, on the second line, you see that your return on advertising spending was 10 euros. And this month it has decreased to 6.7 euros. So there should be something, there is something to make here. And if you only have this report, no one just takes it and does the job. And what is important here after this sophisticated analysis is to come up with an action and to delegate it. Another which, like so many people say, there are so many sophisticated SaaS tools, softwares, but I don't believe in them. I think they are very well designed, but they have a huge gap when it comes to integrate it with your own business because they are general built, and I think the best way to analyze data is your own way. And also, yeah, again, this is a very famous software for Amazon sellers, but okay, you can see some very good data outputs, but where is the action? It should give you an action about what to do. What we need is a streamlined data pipeline and organized and efficient data analysis, not with spreadsheets, instead using Python scripts and automate everything. And from the results of this analysis, there should be some action-oriented outputs, and these outputs should be delegated. Besides, I'm not all about solving my previous jobs or my brand's problems, and that was a way for me to explore how to integrate SQLite and try to get used to it because so many jobs are asking for SQL, so I wanted to learn it better. And automating the pre-processing and analyze of data with reusable Python scripts. And after that, I wanted to test the power of LLMs. And it's a very hot topic nowadays, NLP programming. When you connect to OpenAI API, you feel like you got all the world. And there are some parallel frameworks like LangChain, which adds some additional features to use OpenAI API. And I really wanted to explore how to design a product from scratch. And as I said, I don't believe in general build softwares. And I think the best solution is you come up with your own solution using AI. So I shortly want to explain one of my failed attempts to do this. I was planning to create such a structure using two different language models. For the first one is responsible to output the main prompt for the final LLM. And I planned that maybe if I just give the question and all the state-of-art solutions about how to answer these questions, the LLM could be able to generate an output to give very detailed and current instructions about how to solve a specific problem. It didn't work. The generated prompt template could then be merged with our company's real data. So this final LLM, what could it do is to take the step-by-step state-of-art instructions for the solution of this problem and working with real data to come up with the analysis. But that approach, I can say that it has failed. And why this approach has failed is that I think we still can't expect LLM to do everything for us. And still, if you look at the market, many language LLM-based applications are still very task-specific. They are not very good at handling very broad tasks. And I think there are still some limitations about how they can, when you try to query your numerical data. It is still a very good solution for text data or text-based problems, but when it comes to numerical data, they are not, I think, very dependable yet. This is my product's final solution, final architecture. So what I came up with is that I established a SQLite database and handwritten, hard-coded all the data analysis and pre-processing functions myself, but then used LLM to provide context to the results and then ask it to analyze the data given my provided context. Here, user just inserts a product collection or category, and this product category will use the data from SQLite, including inventory, advertising, and sales. Then you have all the results for your data analysis pipeline. And what a really cool feature that LangChain provides is that you can ask questions to your data, like how many items did I solve, what is my most popular product, did I ship any product to Netherlands and didn't collect shipping price, these kind of questions. So I think this was the final right balance. What I did is that I narrowed down the tasks, and I just let SQL to be SQL and LLM to be LLM. And yeah, maybe in someday it will be possible. This is what it looks like. It will convert to a user interface. You connect your SQL database, you select a product here, and then the analysis is made through hard-coded functions, and these are not for display, these are just to be stored, to be passed into a language model. Then you can ask some questions like what countries, which countries did we ship to, and LangChain answers, for example, Germany, Austria. Again, you do the same thing for inventory, and the inventory action is always when you should order and how much you should order for each product. And finally, you do the same analysis for your advertising data. And at the end, like, I just want to show you this thing. How do I use LLM is that now, after hard-coded analysis results, you got too many variables that shows you the performance of the brand. And if you use a very detailed prompt template, for example, how to analyze budget spending, how to analyze conversion rate, how to analyze real ICOs, these kind of things, it then integrates with data and really answers questions in a very successful way. So the output for this prompt is this. And it says that your organized sales has decreased, please go check this. Your conversion rate decreased, please go do this. And your return on advertising spending is increased, please go check your bids. So these are all the actions that is generated by LLM. And the good thing here is that you can always revise your approach about this problem. You just go, change the text, change the sentence, and it will change the analysis however you want. And at the end, if we pass all the results for actions for sales, inventory, and advertising, it gives us a final output that includes all, you should order this many in this date, and for advertising, you should go do these. And the later stage would be very, okay. And the later stage, we can structure this output, include assignees, for example, if that's an advertising test. For example, Leo should do it, these kind of things, and this can just be added with a simple prompt. And a very structured output could then be passed through using APIs to collaboration applications like Trello, Asana, these kind of things. So imagine this script is just run for one single product. Imagine on the background you run this script for every product of yours, and all the results are accumulated, and in a structured way, just in 30 seconds, they pop up on your collaboration app with action, what product type, what is the domain, and who should do it. This is where I'm trying to go now. Yeah, as I said, next step is I will connect to Amazon API to further automate the process. And I think the fun thing in this project is I can't wait to iterate over prompts because there are some shortcomings, but you just read it and be more specific with your language, and the numerical outcomes really change. And as I said, I will try to connect it to a collaboration application just to automate everything. And thank you.